All right, peace and blessings. It's your girl Naya here, and I am here to do a reading. It's a bit, kind of, sort of, going to be a big reading. We'll just see how Spirit wants to handle it right now. So, basically, you have a lot of inquiry, and you're just trying to sort of look for direction. And we've already had the the precursor conversation about what it is you're kind of looking for in this reading. So this deck that I'm shuffling right now is a deck called Soul Cards, and so I'm just going to use this to pull a card in terms of your energies, your current snapshot of where your overall general energy is right now. And let me get my my pendulum. 1 second. It's pulling on that one. All right. Yeah, you definitely, I can feel through this card, even though we've had the conversation, I kind of felt it and try to get a snapshot of it. It's kind of where your energy is now. It's just like very frazzled. So it's giving you a difficult time of discerning, what to pick up that's yours. I'm picking up from this card, just generally speaking, that it's like you're picking up a lot of static from other people. It's like it's coming at you. It's not coming from within you, and you're just trying to do your best to like protect yourself from it. But you're not really sure what direction to go with that. So that's where we're at now. I do know that it's emanating from, like, you could just see like all of the chakras except the third eye and the crown seems to be very bogged down by whatever it is that is going on in your life. So we're gonna walk through this kind of layer by layer in terms of what we discussed before. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put that to the side there. All right. So let's just really quickly, in terms of that general energy, kind of gonna ask the tarot here what you can do to kind of break out of that, because it seems like what I would call being really, really stuck in a rut, or no, what I call it is being in a spiritual funk, and sometimes that spiritual funk doesn't even emanate from us. It's just the outside world. And you know what? 2020 has been a very heavy ass year, as we all really know. So how can you really shake off that extra funk there? Spiritual funk. All right. So I asked, how do you shake off that spiritual funk? This is going to sound funny, but you're going to have to find a way of stilling your mind. It's like, right, static is a lot of energy coming from a lot of places, coming from everywhere. In order to counter that, you can perhaps pick up meditation, pick up something spiritual, whatever's in your avenue of spirituality, something that's going to make you feel very like centered and kind of give your mind and your heart and your spirit a way of settling down and being still. Because there's burdens being pushed upon you. There's high assertive hot energy coming at you, and not in the most positive form. So the only way to combat fire is with water. Something else that comes up with me when this card comes up, can you even see that? Oh, just barely. I'm gonna make sure. When this card comes up, and this is what we're talking about, being still here. This card also for me reminds me to take a spiritual bath of some sort, some kind of cleansing. That's just how it comes up for me, and especially seeing this soul card come up with this kind of energy, it makes me feel like that might be something you can look into. Again, it's just like, if this is you in the center, we have all these burdens and things coming at you, right? Not even like good burdens, just like other people's burden, or bringing their negativity and their burdens on you, and could be overbearing and things of that sort. And it's just this, you're in the center, and they're both, it's just like it's pinning you in, and then it's causing you to kind of feel this way. So to counter it, you got to find that stillness and stuff. That's definitely what the cards are saying when it comes to that. Okay. So yeah. All right. So we'll get that and in there. All right. Now, we do know that you have, now we're going to talk about your love interest. It seems like you have a couple of avenues that you can go down. Okay. And we want to see what those are going to look like. Where's my one deck at? Here. This one is popped up in my head, so we're going to use that as a extra thing later. Okay. So what I decided to do was use 3 different decks for your 3 different relationships, or your 3 different love interests, rather. So in order to remain anonymous here, we've had the conversation. So what we're going to do is, this is going to be Gemini, this is going to be your Virgo, and this is going to be your Aquarius. And for anybody watching this, my client is a Gemini. So have fun with that information. Okay. So, all right. Let that cool off for a second. So first we're going to read for you and the Gemini. In that love interest, and what that's going to look like, over the next 3 months or so. Like where it's heading, what it's going to look like in the next 3 months or so. So give that a nice good shuffle. this. I'm gonna do a 3-card cut. And all right, Gemini and Gemini. That feels good. Okay, so what we're doing first is this card is going to represent you in that situation, and that is representative of that person in your situation. Okay. So it's very interesting that both of these cards, the imagery in these cards, you in this relationship, you're balanced, you're centered, you're focused. And while the person that you're interested in, that is the Gemini, has a really big heart, has a way of making things flourish, and her face is facing you, but her body's tilted somewhere else. So her body's tilted that way. You're kind of centered looking forward. And even though her face is looking forward, her body is tilted that way. So that tells me, in a nutshell, before I even pull these guys, yeah, that that within the next 3 months, it almost seems like perhaps there's other, let's say there might be somebody else involved, that is taking the attention away. But in terms of you in this relationship or situationship with this Gemini, it's like, you know, it feels brand new. Every time you guys connect, it feels new. It feels fresh. It feels like there's something still there that you can learn from each other. But then it just kind of also feels very constricted. As much as you want to explore, there's this rigidity of like, there's this rigidity where things are like being held back. Not everything is being expressed or not being expressed or shared, you know. Not sure if it's secrets or baggage or anything of that sort, but there is something that is closed off. So there's like a block here, if you will. Okay. And I mean, even like, just look at this. Oh, I wish my hands were a little bit bigger, but but look at how the stick right here and then the stick right here is actually blocking in this. There's, you know, if this is you and this is how you feel about the situationship with this Gemini, and you're trying to go for it, there's like, again, she's faced away and she has other things on her mind. I mean, that's just, listen, I'm just reading the cards. The cards is, you know, I'm not putting my 2 cents in here. That's what the cards are telling me. So over the next 3 months, it's just going to seem stagnant and stuck. And there's not this coming togetherness that may have originally been wanted. But yeah, that's what it is. Okay, now I'm going to use this deck for you and the Virgo. I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the other reading, just to see what the energies are like. So you, the Gemini, and again, what about the next 3 months or so is going to look like in terms of you and that person. Interesting. Seems like that person, that Virgo person, is very solid and square, very stable as an individual. Kind of is looking at you right head on. There's a lot that you guys have in common, but you kind of, I feel like in this particular one, you kind of feel like that it's kind of like that's over with, even though you're curious about it. Like, because the Tower, if that represents you in that situation, the Tower is about breaking things down to the core. So, and these two cards are, they kind of go hand in hand. But I feel like perhaps in this case, this person just like tends to blow your mind, even though you also feel like that might not even work. Just based on these two cards, I'm getting a lot of information. So let's talk about these two cards. I know I was talking about them before, but I just want to say, if this is you and this is her, she's stable here, facing you, has the armor up, being the one kind of in control here, whereas perhaps maybe, you know, maybe she gets your head going a little bit, but, and it's like, it's almost like a buzz, right? Like there's just like a lot of like this is really sticking out to me, this crown and this lightning bolt, because that for me sometimes is just like a lot of like brainstorming, like this mental sense of clarity that breaks away old ideas and old ways of thinking, right? And it just breaks it down all the way to the surface. So I feel like she brings that into your life, just based on what these cards are saying. You know, like it's always like, it's almost like you can find yourself, the core part of yourself, depending on the conversation you guys are having, and all the bullshit information just flows away from you. So, you know, this is a based on this central card here, you know, things look like they're gonna be, you know, happy, blissful, and innocent feeling, you know. Perhaps what you guys will have within the next 3 months might be something a little bit unconventional. And I'm seeing that here with the Hierophant being in reverse, because usually the Hierophant upright is about values and institution and established traditions and things of that sort. So I see it in reverse as being something unconventional, you know what I mean? But that's okay. Like that brings goodness and clarity to the situation, warmth to the situation. You know, that's good stuff. And I feel here that perhaps as things have been growing, as you've been kind of working through this situationship, there's been some things on your mind that you may have wanted to discuss that you've held back. And I feel like if you allow it to continue to grow, you know, it'll be something that could be potentially really stable and very fruitful. You know, however that manifests is, you know, far from me to see, but that there's a great potential here for some contentment and some happiness that will work for both parties. So like I said, right here, this card is telling me it looks like you've been building on that for a while now. And it's just, it feels like that, like that patiently, like you're getting impatient after having invested so much in it already. So I feel like this one is worth nurturing here based on what the cards are telling me. Okay, and then I'll just show you those cards up close so you can get a little look. Okay. All right, moving on. It's a lot. Let me get a sip of my water. I don't talk this much. Okay. So now, I'm gonna focus. Now this is going to be about you and the Aquarius. Interesting. Okay. You and the Aquarius. Well, the cards are telling me that you're really unsure about that situationship. It's very interesting. There is a compatibility there with you and the Aquarius. It comes from an emotional place. It comes from an intuitive place, a deep down kind of intuitive place. There's this duality that you both can bounce off of each other. This domesticated side and this feral side easily kind of weave in and out like the tide of the ocean, you know. Although, while you're in it in lieu of mystery, right, and in seeking through that kind of murky scenario of intuition and emotion, right? Because sometimes it could feel that way, right? She's more boxed in within her own mystery and likes to play the riddle me this. And, you know, because when you look at these cards here, right, both of these cards are ruled by the element of water, essentially. But while this one is more open and also in the dark a little bit, That's probably a bad choice of words, but not in the dark, but like things seem murky, things seem cloudy, but you're open to exploring through that murkiness. Whereas here, there's like this boxed up kind of situation wherein she also has these mysteries that she enjoys too. You guys share a lot of similar kind of views on things, perhaps. But while yours seems to be a little bit more open, she likes to play the game of mystery a lot more. You know, like the almost like hard to get, if you will, and likes to keep people guessing. It's part of their nature. In this particular situationship, that is what I am picking up from the cards that have popped out here. So let's see what that's going to look like in the next 3 months or so. Okay, Hierophant comes up again. Oh, wow. That's interesting. Okay. I say it's interesting because, let me just read it. So in this case, things are a little bit more conventional between the two of you guys. You guys share a lot of the same values. I kind of picked that up with this. You guys share a lot of the same values and beliefs. But there's a saying, right? It's like you reap what you sow. So you guys have been building on something pretty traditional to what rings true to the both of you. Having patience and allowing that to also develop would be ideal. And it will provide a lot of fruit for harvest, if you will. Now, this King of Pentacles can represent how well this relationship or this situationship will flourish in its current state here, you know. But it just seems very organic, is what I'm seeing in these cards, because these are all earthy cards. So it all just looks like it's just very organic. And then I like how these two cards are like based on water. So it's like, it's really a harmonic thing that's happening here. So that's one big way that I'm picking up these cards. But the other thing about this, and I'm curious, is sometimes the court cards could come up as other people. So I'm curious who this King of Pentacles is here. There's a third party that might come towards the end of the 3 months that might present themselves in some form or fashion. So I would just keep a lookout for that. It might be somebody that might help you guys bring more stability or something like that. I mean, you know, I'm not going to speculate here, but it seems more down the line, you know, after towards the end of the 3 months or whatever. So, but those big things that I mentioned, and I'm only saying that as a caveat because these things the cards represent themselves in various layers. So I just wanted to let you know. King of Pentacles is Taurus in this deck. So it might be a Taurus person. So just keep a lookout for that. Okay. All right. Alrighty then. Whew. You got me doing the most with these readings. Lord. So take from that what you will as far as the 3, you know, situationships are concerned. And if you have any questions later on, you can always let me know. And we can follow up. So let's cool this one down. All right. And I'm just having fun with my decks today, even though I am reading them. Okay. Let's take a look. So the next thing that you wanted to know was about your career. I'm just going to use this guy today. So you wanted to know about your career. Did you see that? That popped up right there. So your career, we'll do the same thing here. We'll just look at the next 3 months. I guess you just want to see what things are going to look like where you're currently at. So looks like you're still learning. There's definitely potential there. And potential to, I mean, it looks promising. Again, there's potential for growth. I mean, it looks so crazy, but it's like, it's potential for growth. Again, this King of Pentacles is, I know it's like the most cluttered card in the whole deck, but it's all like grapes and fruits and stuff like that. I'm trying to understand why it came up in reverse here. There might be a lot to learn, you know, maybe the potential, there's a lot of potential available for you. And that's what it's suggesting. It's answering the question of, you know, your career and what it's going to look like within the next 3 months. The potential is there for growth, and other people have their eye on you for that. And you are currently learning, you know, what to do and how to function within that space. So I think that looks pretty dang promising. My hand like went to this deck like automatically. I wasn't even like trying to think of it. So let's see what this. Harmony. You're good, girl. You're good. As far as where you're at right now, you're solid. We got the sun in Libra. It's balance. It's harmony. It's beautiful. Let's just leave that like that. Oh wait. Oh. Okay. All right. We're almost there. We have 2 more topics to go. So you were talking to me about family. And you just mentioned that you just want to know what the cards have to say about it. Although you didn't really elaborate too much on, you know, what that particular journey is looking like or anything like that, which is okay. So oh my God, that has to be your card, your card right now. What the heck, man? All right, well, it flips, so anytime a card flies out, I stop shuffling. All right. Everybody came out. Okay, so most of the time, cards don't always come out, and there's usually like a topsy-turvy, right? I think when it comes to family, in terms of the way that you're saying within the next 3 months, because let's keep this in mind. It's just a snapshot within the next 3 months. It doesn't seem like things are going to be moving forward in that department. I would say it's a good time to do the homework and the research and go back and see what your options are. And that after the end of the 3 months, there looks like there will be, kind of revisit it. What are we in? August, September, October, November. Come December, revisit it and see after, while you're doing your homework within this time, and see how you can manifest it. Because this right here is like the exclamation point of this little spread. And this is basically saying after this time period, you can move forward with manifesting it and putting the energy in it to make that happen. But as of right now, that center is, it should not be the center of focus right now, within these next 3 months. Again, I have to be very important about speaking about time frames, because this is not forever. It's a snapshot of now and what we were talking about. So I like to just remind people, because some people go, oh my God, it's going to be like that forever. Nah, it's just, that's what it is. So I just want you to be aware. Let's see. Family. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so there's obviously a reason why it should not be the focus right now. You might have to let some other things go before there's room really, again, for you to kind of be able to spend from your gut, from your spirit, the energy to be enthusiastic about it and to really move forward with, not move forward with, but really get deep and sink into that. And I'm going to call it an adventure in that process. Okay. Can you see that? Oops, barely. I'm sorry. This is a new setup. So, I'm working on making sure things are all in the camera. So, yeah, at the end of the 3 months, it should be good. There's just something that you have to deal with now. Seems like some things it's like some things you're gonna have to let go in order to make room in your life for you to be able to spend enough energy on that, for you to be able to get that manifested in the way that you want, and to work with the people that are going to be able to link up with the people that are going to help guide you there, So I know that would kind of seem a little bit cryptic, but that's how the cards are reading right now. So okay. Alrighty. And finally, what we're going to do is we're going to give you a general, this is lastly, a general 3 card, which is going to be your 3-month energy forecast. So this is going to be like how you're going to be feeling kind of overall over the next 3 months. And I'm going to just take my time and breathe to reset from the last couple of reading I did for you. I'm also going to pull some soul cards. They're calling my name, and I think they want to be used. Oh, these guys are a little bit slippery. So, and then after this, we'll close out your reading, and I hope that, you know, it's been helpful for you. Okay. All right, next 3 months. So for August, it seems like there's gonna be this. You're gonna feel open to receiving and exploring the options. Just remember to keep in mind that you have the whole world at your hand. You know, what the whole world is your oyster, I think. Is that how the saying goes? But whatever you're considering starting this month, it's a good time to start it, especially with this card coming out here. So August, September. All right, I think in September there's gonna be, this is gonna be when you're gonna make your choice. You're gonna make your heart-centered choice as far as your situationships are concerned. I think it's gonna be very clear and apparent to you in September. The cards are like screaming at me right now. And you're gonna feel it like hard. You're just gonna know. It's just gonna like hit you. Okay, so August, September. Oh, I should have left that up. I'll do it like that. That's August, September, and then October. I think you're going to feel in your power. You're going to feel centered. You're going to feel in control. And like you have your shit together. That sounds funny to say it that way, but remember the card that I pulled in the beginning about that static that you were holding on to, almost that out of control feeling of just having like decision fission, right? Too many options, too many things, da 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 da. But by the end of this quarter here, you're really going to have a good handle on all of that. You have been able to cut away at the things that are not serving you, that are unnecessary, and you're just going to have a good peace of mind with a good handle on how to control your current environment the way that you want to and the way that you need to for yourself. So, my dear, that concludes your reading. I hope that you found this helpful. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can always email me or catch up with me. You know how about it. And yeah, until next time, much love, many blessings, peace.